So, have you ever looked at your finances after a relationship just ended and realized that it's not just your relationship that is ending? You're just not losing a partner. You're also thinking about how do I rebuild my financial life. Even if you're the one who's paying for everything, all the bills in the house, it doesn't mean that you're gaining financial freedom. In fact, that's the point. That all the finances will automatically fall on you, because at the end of the day, that partner who was there with you now has moved away. What makes you think that they will, cater for anything financially? So you have to think strategically for yourself, because one, you have bills to pay. Two, you have children to take care of if you have children. Another thing, you still have a lot of responsibilities that fall within you. But now you have to ask yourself a very difficult question: how do I put my finances back in order so that I can sustain the life that I'm living and the life my children will live, and we can get, you can get the financial freedom that you are craving for. And today I want us to have that conversation. It's a hard conversation, but we need to have it. um, and I've gone through that before, so it's not a conversation that I'm picking from nowhere. It's something I've gone through. And picking up pieces takes a lot of time, and you really have to give up a lot. And today I want us first of all to go to the back to, you know I want us to think about the relationship. When you're in the relationship, one, you're the one who's paying for the bills, you're the one who's paying for the rent. Let's look at the everything. Rent, paying for household expenses, you're paying for school fees, you're paying for the transport, you're paying for medical emergencies, you're paying for unexpected emergencies, something that would come up. But you know what, you're used to that. But it's get up when you separate yourself from somebody, or when you break up, with your partner. What that means is that you have one person, you have one person less from your budget, and you really need to think and plan for yourself and your children, because one adult, I don't want to put it in a bad way, but carrying another person, that's another load on you. So there's a little bit of breathing space there. So you need to have a budget. Like when you're separating from your partner, you really need to have a proper budget, a budget that you can stick to until you're financially free. You've got that freedom that you can wiggle, you can go for vacations and everything. You need to plan well. And how are you putting those finances together? Because a lot of people talk about emotional, when you break up, a lot of people tell you sorry, we know you're emotionally you know down, but they don't talk about the financial side of things. Because what makes you think like the other person will ever help you? So you have to be on this alone, this journey alone. And what do you do? Because at the end of the day, you need to have your emergency fund, you need to have your savings, your credit position needs to be okay. You need to gain that financial independence that you're craving for. um, and how do you do this? So for me, what I would do first is build a survival budget. I call it survival budget because you're on a surviving mode. You need to get things back in order. So have that in place, and then put your needs before your wants on that budget. Always plan for your needs. Don't go for wants. Don't go for a vacation when you clearly don't have that money. And then another thing is, stop funding things that you cannot afford. Stop it. Live within your means. For it's not for a long time. It's that for a duration, whether a month, 2 months, a year, however long it will take, you will get there. It's just a journey. And then one thing you need to do, which is very important: prioritize your children's essential expenses. Your children, they don't need to fill the vacuum that has been left by a partner. They think that the other partner, when the other partner was there, their situation was better. You need to make them still be comfortable, but control what they want. Make sure they have their needs before their wants, and engage them once in a while. Take them for every month, like for an outing or something they love doing. Make sure that they are doing that, but take care of their needs before their wants. Um, Another thing is deal with high interest debts. A lot of people usually talk about clearing the small debts, but for me, I would advise somebody to clear the high interest debts, because that will bring you down in terms of your finances. So once you clear that, and also make sure that you talk to other debtors. If you have other debtors, talk to them, create a plan, a payment plan, so that they know that you're serious. You don't want to, you don't want people calling you all the time, because they're calling all the time usually makes other people suicidal, and it's not the place where you want to be. You need to be properly emotionally protected, so that you can be able to take care of your children and take care of yourself. Another thing is, after you have paid all your debts, even when you have not paid all your debts, I would advise somebody to build your savings gradually. Put it in a money market fund where there's high interest. Just don't put it in a bank where you're getting the interest at the end of the year. You look at it and you feel like there's nothing. Research and look into money market funds, shares, something that will bring in a little bit of higher interest, and save a little, even if it's 1,000 year, 2,000 year, even 500, something small. Save gradually, slowly. You don't have to wait for you to pay for all your debts, you know and then look for an additional income. If you can be able to do something, look for that something that will bring, that job, that business that will bring something every month. Even if it's small, it is something, and it will help you wiggle out of the situation that you're in. And then don't use debt to maintain a lifestyle that you don't have. Don't borrow more. Cut off the borrowing channels. Block them, delete from your apps. And just go cold turkey. Just use the money that you have, because at the end of the day, if you borrow and you do not have money to sustain, your debt is still accumulating, and you'll be in that circle of always borrowing all the time. Another thing is, create a financial plan that suits you. Don't create a financial plan because somebody else has told you, you need this, you need this. Don't. Do something for yourself and stick to that financial plan, even if you feel like you're not getting out of that loop. So long as you're clearing your debt, so long as your needs are taken care of, stick to that. There's a time that will come that when you'll be financially free to even take those vacations and be happy. And even when your friends invite you for vacations, be open with them. Tell them, they know your situation, you're separated, you're taking care of everything yourself. Don't hide it. You never know. You might have a friend who's willing to support you and assist you. Because you need a community to save you in times like this, whether it's financially, emotionally. Just open those channels. And then also, another thing that I think a lot of people who have children always forget is taking care of yourself. Don't forget yourself. Um, take care of yourself. Don't feel guilty. If you need that dress, buy that dress for yourself. It's not a bad thing. If you need the shoes, if you need the bags, just don't overdo it, and make sure that all the I'll repeat this. Make sure that all the needs are covered. When they're covered, and if you need a dress, if you need a bag, a shoe, please go out there, buy for yourself, and make sure you're taking care of yourself also. Don't forget yourself. Like, for myself, an example, I love coffee. Take yourself for a coffee date. Take your coffee and a piece of cake. Feel nice. You know, it's all that you can give yourself, and you feel nice and everything. And then taking care of yourself, you need to remember, taking care of yourself is not taking money away from your kids. In fact, you're part of that family budget, so you need to take care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, you'll be in a good mood. Your kids will be in a good mood because you'll be happy with them, you'll be free with them. And then another thing is, you need to know what you can be able to do. Build those financial boundaries for yourself. If you can't do anything, stick to that. Don't let other people convince you otherwise. And then also another thing about, the end of a relationship is, and I think I need to talk about this because people also, when you're looking at the financial aspect of it, that is a major thing. But also look at it from the peace aspect of it. You're getting that peace, especially if you're in a relationship where there was fighting all the time, arguing all the time, fighting in terms, I'm not saying physical fight. Some people are in physical whatever, they get into physical altercations, but I'm not talking of that. I'm talking about, you need to argue all the time. Please, if you're away from a relationship and you don't have that, start enjoying the peace that you have, and you'll start thinking clearer, and your finances will get back into shape because you don't have to argue with somebody. You'll be able to take care of your kids, you'll be smiling more. And even, by the way, when you start getting into that, you can look into things that you wanted to do when you're in that relationship that you're not able to do, and start doing them for yourself. You don't have to, you don't have to put yourself in a place whereby you're always unhappy, because life is too short. You have to take care of yourself before you take care of somebody else. Um, so that's what I can be able to say. And guys, if you love this, subscribe, and we can be talking about so many things. I also learn from others, and I hope we can be able to be on this journey together, and teach each other, and you know have a great time. So take care of yourself, love yourself more, and maintain your peace. Bye bye.